Hello viewers. Uh, in the previous lecture, we had talked about the how England remained the principal architect of Napoleon's ruin or Napoleon's defeat. In other words, we can say how Napoleon was defeated by England. That was the topic in the previous lecture. In today's topic, we will talk about the Napoleon as a person, and then uh, about Napoleon, the bright side of Napoleon's personality, and then the dark side of Napoleon's personality. Uh, actually, uh, Napoleon is handled differently. Uh, some historians have painted him as the devil of the earth, the destructor of the Europe, and some historians have painted him as a great man, a great conqueror, a great administrator, uh, uh, a dauntless and peerless, courageous soldier, and a great emperor. So that's why we can say that Napoleon is handled differently by different historians. Some historians are of the opinion that were of the opinion that Napoleon was a great gigantic spirit and greatest conqueror of the world. Uh, we can say that Napoleon was not a man of either power, uh, uh, positive qualities, rather a negative qualities or capabilities. He was a kind of mixture of both positive and negative qualities in one way or another way. For some people, he was a great soldier, a great man, and a great emperor as well. While for the other, he was a man of destruction. He was a man who killed almost 4 million people in those 60 wars. So that's why some people paint him uh, as the destructor of the innocent lives, or the destructor of the European countries' peace and their daily life. So let's talk about the bright side of Napoleon's personality. First, we will talk about all those points that manifest that how Napoleon was a man of great qualities. In the first instant, we can talk about the point is Napoleon is a man. The title Napoleon is a man in the dark side, sorry, in the bright aspect, we can firstly write Napoleon is a man. How Napoleon as a man can be described. So he was a man of great and grand personality, because from a very ordinary person, he arose to the to become an emperor of one of the powerful country in the world. Secondly, he was a man of strong physique and great physical strength, and it can be manifested from the fact that he almost in the battle of, I think, yes, in the battle of Waterloo, he remained for 37 hours on the saddle of his horse. So it shows that how much uh, 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 he was great in a strong physical fitness. Now, secondly, he used to say the word impossible is found in the dictionary of the Poles only. This is very prominent and famous saying of Napoleon. This is how he can be described as a man. And secondly, he was a man of sharp intellect, strong memory, and imaginative power. So he had all these qualities when we are describing him as a man. And he, furthermore, he would say that I am not a man like other men. So he was quite different from the rest of the people, and he could influence anybody by his sweet tongue. Secondly, he would write articles, and later on, those articles were combined or filed in the form of 32 books. It means that he wrote around 32 books. Uh, uh, his wife Josephine was so impressed by his personality that later on she married him. So this is how Napoleon can be described as a man. Now Napoleon is a general. How is a general he was when we are talking about the bright side of Napoleon? As a sorry, as a general, he was bold, courageous, and dauntless. He was very adroit and adept in the warfare. He was skillful in the warfare. Uh, he could understand the situations, how to behave in times of war or having some emergencies like that of war. Uh, Secondly, he would choose his soldiers from the ordinary soldiers, from ordinary people. He would choose his soldier from ordinary people, and Napoleon would do anything for the comfort of his soldiers. This is how his soldier would not step back from any kind of sacrifice. So, as a general, he was a great general. And when we are talking about the bright side of his personality. And thirdly, Napoleon is a great conqueror. When we are talking about or describing him as a conqueror, he conquered Italy, Portugal, Holland, Sweden, and rest of the other great powers were greatly humbled by Napoleon, like England, Austria. They were great powers at that time. And furthermore, he did not uh, lift any stone unturned to bring England to her knee. So Napoleon ranks with Alexander, Caesar, and Charlemagne in the history of the world when we are talking about the great conquerors of the world and the history. When we in the fourth point, when we describing the bright side of Napoleon in the form of Napoleon as an administrator, this is the fourth point when we are talking about the bright side of Napoleon, how administrator he was, or how he was an administrator, how he would run the affairs of the state. So it can be manifested from the fact that when he came into power, he removed chaos and anarchy from the country. France was deeply in deep crisis at that time. When Napoleon came in power, he removed those. He removed the chaos and anarchy that was prevailing at that time in France as a result of the French Revolution. Though French Revolution was quite early to him, but its impacts was also still there on. So those impacts were greatly vanished or greatly removed by Napoleon when he came into power. So the first is that he removed the chaos and anarchy. Secondly, he established the Bank of France in order to improve the economy. and finance of the country, means France. So he is also known as the. Some historians have labeled him as the child of the revolution, because he completely revolutionized the systems, the administrations, the complete affairs of the state into a different form. Because earlier France was ruling under a monarch, and as a result, which was overthrown by as a result of the French Revolution, and the system was completely different. But now, when Napoleon came into power, he completely changed the system, political systems, and then the system that was prevailing in the army, the system that was prevailing in the other departments of the country. So he completely changed it into a new one. Uh, this is the fourth point when we are talking about Napoleon as an administrator. But when we are talking about Napoleon as an organizer and statesman, this is the fifth point when we are talking about the bright side of Napoleon. His wide outlook and efficient administrative system, and abolition of the privileges, because at that time privileges were common. As people would be given names, they would be served uh, with with different interests, different names and honors. So all those privileges were whipped out by Napoleon's arrival. So he introduced different reforms and opening career for a career to talented people, and that's how his statesmanship and organizing capacity is visible in the system. So he's an organizer and a statesman. He was a great beggar because he whiffed up those malpractices from the systems and opening career to the new talent or to the young people, and then introducing reforms in the institution and entirely in the country. That's how he can be remembered as a best organizer and a great statesman. So thank you so much for watching the video.